Hey everyone, I'm back with another video. Today I went to the Bear & Son factory with my friend the Blade Bloodhound. This is his sticker. If y'all want a sticker, hit him up. His channel is the Blade Bloodhound. He has hundreds of knives. He does hundreds of reviews on these knives. Old stuff, new stuff, you name it, he has it. So go check out his channel. Makes great content. But we went to Jacksonville, Alabama, and we went through and picked out a bunch of stuff from their seconds bins. They have thousands of knives at the factory. You have probably seen maybe the Knife Doctor or a few other big channels going there and doing reviews, just going around through the different bins. They just have bins. It's kind of like you walk in through the factory, you loop around, and then you come into this big warehouse area where they have just bins and bins and bins of just knives. Like this one came out of a bin of, I don't know, there's probably 30 in each bin, you know what I mean? And these are all going to be seconds or overstock. You can see this one's a second. This one doesn't even have a Bear & Son marking on it, among other things that could have gone wrong with these. And then you have stuff like this old Remington that's probably been in a box for 2 decades, you know what I mean? You have no idea how long some of these have been in there. So they just kind of pull out old stock from their factories and has it all out. This one was a free one. They sent me a pamphlet from when I went last year. I picked up a few things when I went with the Blade Bloodhound last year as well. And you sign up for a little kind of giveaway thing, like a raffle at the beginning of the show. And you put your name and address down. And they sent a flyer saying if you buy anything, you can get a free knife. So I picked up this red one. I'll show you all that here in a second too. And then they also had a bunch of sheaves like this. This is a Moore Maker. These say Matador, Texas. That's where most people think the Moore Makers are actually made, but they're actually made there in Jacksonville in that factory, along with, who knows what other knives are in that factory. They also have this pancake-like slip, and it says Bear & Son right there. This embroidered, embellished, nice leather, American-made sheaves. So, let's get into these knives. Y'all can check out this. This is a pretty cool one, too. I thought this was a buckle, but it's just a pin through all the way. Your belt would just slide through right here. So, let's start off. I'll start off with probably this red one. So, these are just aluminum frame, slip joints. Has this punch through hole similar to like a Crossroads case knife. You can see Bear & Son right there on the blade, and you can see the stars right here. It has 5 stars, so I'm assuming this is how they date there. So it's a 2025 knife. Has this easy open along with the punched out nail nick. Has a lanyard hole here where you can put this on a keychain, and it also has a pocket clip. And this is the deep carry clip. This is only tipped down. Unfortunately, you can't swap it, and it's not ambidextrous. But of course, slip joint knife. I asked them what kind of stainless steel this was, and they said it was 440, and it's not. Case uses 420. They use 440. There's not really much difference in those steels, but you can see these are screwed together. That's probably a TA, and these are T6s, if I had to assume. But pretty nice knife. It's a full-size handled knife. It'd be fine for if you're wearing gloves. Not the most ergonomic, but it is a good knife, and it's even better because it was free. So that is the first of the ones I got. They have a few different colors new of these. They got, I want to say they have, of course, the red, blue, purple, gold, and black, and maybe orange. I might have already said orange, but they do have an orange one as well. So they only had red, and she said that she could have looked for a gold one, but I was like, I'll take the red, it's fine. So next, I have found This one is similar to a sodbuster style. Of course, it has a Skinner blade, which really puts it over the top to make it look like a sodbuster. Let me actually grab a sodbuster so I can compare. So this is the Crossroads sodbuster that I have from Case. And of course, this one has the more modern style. This one's screwed together just like this one as well. You can see this is a smooth, very smooth natural bone. It almost looks like a white synthetic, but it is very nice bone. And then these do have a pocket clip. It's another deep carry. Unfortunately, these aren't ambidextrous either. Yeah, they're not, because this screw goes here, but there's not a screw above that. But deep carry clip. I wish these screws were recessed. I've even tried putting this down in a pocket to see how well that clip goes. But blade's pretty well centered. There's not really much play in that either. Of course, this is probably a stainless steel blade. Based on just the look and the appeal of that blade, it looks stainless. But like I said, these are seconds. So this one doesn't even have a tang stamp at all. But these are Bear knives. They were made there in that factory. But fit and finish wise, it's great. You know what I mean? I paid $14.50 for this. You know, they have them in bins. They're organized from, you know, you start at $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10, $12, $13 a bin, $15, $20, $30. You know, it goes on and on. You get to the Damascus seconds, they're like $50 to $60 a pop. But this one was $14.50. So for a second, that's really great quality. I couldn't pass up $14.50. I did hold up the line trying to find one that was in pretty decent condition. You can see that screw's a little chipped or dinged up here where they drove that screw in. And there's a little blemish here. I don't know if it's dirt or what. Oh, well, there it goes. Cleaned off right. And then a lot of them I saw, let me close this. A lot of them I saw they looked like they have been dropped. So the bone was kind of chipped or damaged. This one has a little line right there, but I don't think it's even a chip. It has I can feel it with my nail, but I don't think it's a chip that goes all the way through to that nail. So they just have, they have thousands of knives, but you have no idea what you're going to find. You know, this was it's a second, but it's a great quality second. This one does kind of rub right here. I wouldn't mind taking these apart just because these are screwed together. It looks like these ride on washers. I think I saw some brass down in there where it might run on a washer. So I wouldn't mind just taking this apart, seeing how they kind of make these and put it back together, because it's a Lockback. You know, they're made pretty well, made fairly well. Wouldn't mind taking this apart and seeing how they did it. Move this out of the way too. Set that up there. I got the sticker last year, which is a pretty nice sticker. And then my last find was a Remington. And I think my friend found this one for me. But it is an old Remington. You can see that big R. And I really can't tell if y'all can tell what that says on there. I think it might say 570. I think that's what it says. That's what it looks like. It's 570. I cleaned this one up a lot. You can see that normally I think the old Remingtons would actually have you can feel that, but I think they normally have a more prominent shield look on there. And then you can see where there is a gap in between the wood and the bolster here that accumulated a bunch of junk. I spent like an hour just watching YouTube and cleaning this knife up. It polished pretty well, but of course these have been sitting in a bin getting chunked around, so the bolsters are nice and scratched up, and the wood just doesn't have the pretty appeal to it like it normally does. It has some like green stuff down in there, just probably old polishing compound that's just sat and collected dirt, and it's kind of oxidized and turned green. So if y'all have any recommendations on how to clean that wood, make it look a lot prettier, that would be great. I mean, on camera, you can't really tell, but in person, it looks very dull, and the green kind of just looks dingy. But the blades are in great condition. It has this clip point blade. This is a mini trapper, of course. Y'all could tell that from a mile away, but it had a good edge on it anyways, but I got them to re-profile that blade. They kind of go high. They went pretty high on that bevel, but that's all right. They put a very sharp edge on that, even though they kind of went high on that bevel. You can see R41 right here would be the pattern number for these. And then, of course, this is a mini trapper, and they have a spay blade. It's pretty skinny spay blade compared to a case knife where it would have more of a belly at the top. But these cleaned up very nicely. I think he probably ran this on the grinder too to put that edge back on there too. But very nice. I'll show you on this Remington UMC, made in the USA, made there in Jacksonville. So after cleaning it, turned out really nicely. Last year, I actually found another Remington. This one has the bird hook and the shotgun choke tool. I did a video on this a while back. Y'all can check out, but it does have that same exact tang stamp. And then you can see where the wood, this one cleaned up pretty well, but you can see kind of like on camera it looks blue, but it's more green in person. But you see the lines in the grain where it's just hard to clean out. And then another one I found last year, well, I didn't find it, but my friend did. This is that Damascus Bear MGC that I picked up at the last sale last year. I didn't see any Damascus ones just thrown into the cheapies. They just do the second one where they're like $50 for a second compared to like $100, for a Damascus. But this one was from last year as well. So overall, it was really fun. I enjoyed hanging out with the Blade Bloodhound, just talking and hanging out, and looking around for some cool knives. I think I did pretty good on this sale. Let me know if y'all would want me to take this apart and see how it looks like under all that scrutiny. Kind of breaking it down, seeing how well Bear actually does their knives. But I think I'm going to carry this one tomorrow, take it to church. Has that clip on there. It'd go great on a pair of jeans. This one, I don't know if it'll get much pocket time, but it was a free knife. I'll take it. I'm glad to get a free knife any day of the week. And of course, that Remington's a classic, good-looking knife. So, make sure y'all leave any thoughts and comments down below. Hope y'all have a great rest of y'all's night. See y'all later. Bye.